I've been looking forward also to this further application for this project that's already on the books with NOACA, with Cleveland Heights and University Heights. I would like to take a moment, though, to thank you, Jeff, Mr. Engelbrecht, for all your work on this with your counterparts in not only Cleveland Heights but in East Cleveland. I've had the pleasure of speaking with Mayor Sarin and Mayor Brendan King about this kind of collaboration with two of our neighbors. And I know that Cleveland Heights is contemplating a similar resolution this evening as well. We anticipate it will pass, and we understand East Cleveland is also contemplating a similar resolution, and we are hopeful as well that it will pass there. So, thank you for that. Are there any?
To add on to the mayor's comment about that enhanced sidewalk and our comments over here, the other thing is I wouldn't kid myself to think that the parking on the west side is just for the businesses, because there's such restriction that people, visitors, repair people, and so to have more access to the townhomes is equally as important, maybe more so, than the businesses. Just another comment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rowe.
You bring the administration assured us that residents can park to the road
On the east side.
on the east side of it,
Yeah, out of that.
and they can walk right up to their door, and that there would be signs to allow people to park there. Not only is there not a single guest spot in the development, there's no more street parking. That's a very good observation.
Thank you. Are there any further comments?
The east side parking in University Heights, if I'm not mistaken, in our section of Taylor, didn't that come about because of the overflow in the shopping center for the Bureau of Motor Vehicles?
No. We marked off the needs primarily on the Cleveland Heights side, where a parking lot had been closed. If you look on...
Yeah, that's the end lot?
Yes.
The end lot, the old Heinen's overflow lot.
Yeah, we're just south of the Dental TLC. That lot has
It's on
since
Cedar Drug in Taylor.
changed hands and should be reopening if it hasn't already. Also, some of these businesses are patio, which during the pandemic, instead of having people inside, they were serving. And so there was a shortage of parking both at that business, also a shortage of parking, which was also affected, of course, the barber shop and the spa. So there was that if University Heights could provide some relief, we were responsive to that. We did, between parking lots being closed and the strike parking there. Those parking lots are reopening or have reopened. So
Living there and being intimately knowledgeable about the area, because I deal with it every day, is the reason why that's why I kept asking for a copy of it, because I know unless the parking can get coordinated with the businesses, you can do the greatest thing in the world with the street, but the complaints are going to be high.
a copy of the study or whole parking for a particular business in front of a particular door, but that district-wide
Chapter 3, many off-street parking lots are underused even during the busiest times. While all of the recommendations from the Cedar-Taylor Business District for that will require support from merchants, parking management is a topic that requires additional coordination. You give me stuff to read, I read it. A comprehensive parking management strategy should be developed collaboratively by the cities of Cleveland Heights, University Heights, and the merchants. For this and the other recommendations for the district, the Cedar-Taylor Development Association is an ideal partner. A parking management plan should identify opportunities for businesses to share customer parking, prioritize improvements for safety and visibility of customer parking areas, and develop a wayfinding scheme to sign the space. I think it's a darn good idea between 2019 and 2020 because if we did it, everybody's on this. That's
Mr. Engelbrecht, you spoke with Kevin Smith of the once and former Cedar-Taylor merchants, correct? Yeah.
So, yeah. Today, about with Cleveland Heights. Mr. Smith actually went to visit, and he said he the plan. It's not. It's that it would need to be. That's
Yeah. For what it's worth, I know Mr. Smith is still social, even if they are not meeting on the regular. Because he's the person behind the account, but to the extent that more work to be done, as we go through this and continue on with Cedar-Taylor improvements, and even if the side during the pandemic, I think that this kind of project has district very well to
You have how do you envision if we could do that study? Because we're this and this commercial. But I can tell you, I drive down Taylor on the Cleveland Heights part, University Heights part too also, and if the merchants have not been told about that, I mean, it is filled. And I can tell you there is not enough parking in the back or on the side for any of those Cleveland Heights. Like if this study was done, it has to be done with all three cities. Before, now, when does this due again?
mid-November. We'll find out in January.
So, December, or not? No, I'm saying to get this study. I honestly, when I'm thinking of the University Heights piece, the townhomes are glaring to me, that they need some kind of permit parking. I'm just thinking of the few, this is not, they don't, I just know it. So it will be a much harder sell for stakeholders than for universities. I'm to like everything about it, but that parking piece, if it wasn't done.
Among the parking options, we're also working out with the school district at the Delisle Center for a portion of the lot that they're not using. And that is something that the school district informally said they were open to. So there are some other options besides Taylor Road when it comes to visitor parking for the South Taylor Place condominiums.
Although everybody's worried about the townhomes, I can tell you that Laundry Center, it's a good thing there's an enhanced crosswalk there, because that lot fills up, which I'm rather amazed by, but that particular lot is very busy. The whole thing has to also have a traveling effect. A lot. And Mayor, you're heavily involved with NOACA. You tend to respond to things that NOACA manner that would motivate you to make sure somehow that happens, and I would appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Weiss. Mr. Rowe.
This is really concerning me now. I went back and looked at the minutes from the that parking area. The NOACA study now was paused for and that they would 2 lanes, which were if I was 70,000 for a townhome and not have a parking spot.
Every resident's going to have to.
Your garage. Your cable goes out and the cable person comes. Or the dishwasher. I asked every single one of these questions, and they haven't sold a single unit. and we're taking away their parking, their street parking. So I'm a little concerned about that. Is that something we can read about?
On-street parking wasn't a component of the residential attached zone.
But there was
apply the same. Since the planning commission had to review the site plan, is not cases. Reach out.
They were Taylor Road. But
The agreement with the school district that we can use their parking lot. They're already building these townhomes. I want to see and the agreement. For you, where's the agreement to use? I want to see in writing that we can use these parking spots for these residents between these dates and times for a period with whatever the expiration date is. I want to see it. Do we have that?
no, we do not.
We do not.
So I think based on what Mr. Rock said, and we have to do the parking study anyway, I hope we do, but Mayor, can you get that agreement with the Delisle Center?
Thank you, Mayor. Just see the discussion winding down. Just before we go to take a vote, I really hope that we're able to move forward with requesting this money. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Like I said, I looked at it, I think it's a really good project. I think we definitely if I was talked about. Is general. We're go as smooth. I think
Thank you. Approve this with contingency? And include cost piece parking was overlooked. It's very disappointing. It's a beautiful plan, but that piece, which by administration. And I'm sad about that.
It's not neglected by this council by anybody voting no.
Until it is ribbon cut. We're gonna have to fix this. Council might have to do more, administration doesn't want to. Walk us through.
Sit on last year's collaborative grants between Cleveland Heights and South Haven. This would be over a year, which gives, realistically, gives us forward. Let's talk about parking. Let's talk about. This is primarily painting, except for the expanded.
Is that contract? We might not even have accepted the grant yet, or no?
There will be recommendation, or not ODOT, but NOACA that will make the recommendations that we start to get moving with ODOT, and it's a reimbursable grant.
Yeah.
So we
What I'm saying is, it says, what do we say?
again. Steps. Likely, yes.
Okay, but then there's still now.
Could be.
So what? It's not really unreversible.
It's got to get off it.
Very good, motion carries. Thank you, council. Thank you, Mr. Engel.
With 5 locations. Yeah. $59,000 bid. Complete. Any questions?
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Bennington. Mr. King.
Thank you, Mayor. So correctly on this.
Yes.
So one of the
2603. To recall, maybe about a year. Yes, and service director. 3 years, 5 years of the addresses where the trees were removed, and then compare that with the I think that would also please. So that identify were told that
We're doing now. Last year, I believe we replaced 46 trees, and some the year before.
but that way you would see.
Right.
If that'll take an hour, and makes things all different. Thank you.
Mr. Bennington, I'd like to thank you. Your response on the weekend.
Thank you, Mr. Weiser. Mr. Rowe.
Now, there may be a few other
heading into that Logoville area. I think a tree had went down last year or so, so maybe if there's an extra one, you can go on that median. It was where the old sign used to be.
Okay.
Take a look.
University Drive?
Drive. Boulevard. Boulevard.
University Boulevard. Okay, I'll take a look at the application.
There's a gentleman who is very involved with the foliage and the shrubbery and pretty much everything. Would maybe not belong.
Seeing none, Mrs. Thomas, will you call the roll?
Aye. Mrs. Wise.
Aye.
Mr. Rod.
Aye.
Ms. Weiser.
Very good, motion carries. Thank you. Next is item G, motion to enter executive session for the purpose of discussing legal proceedings, personnel, and real estate matters. And we will now turn to the reports of. Thank you. Community outreach, Mr. Kelly.
Board from 6 to 8 to review next step of zoning. John Carroll University was not available. A space at John Carroll.
On October 17th at 7 p.m. here at Wiley.
Finance. Thank you, Mrs. Weiss. Recreation, Mr. Cooney's not here. Is there a report from any other committee member? If there is none, then no report, and we'll go to safety. Ms. Marshall is also service and utilities, Mrs. Sack.
Thank you. There's a Service and Utilities Committee meeting on October 10th at 6:30 here at Wiley. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee of the Whole, Mrs. Watt.
Discussing ranked choice voting and other options on October 18th at 6 p.m. at Wiley. 6.
Six.
Okay. Are there any reports? Motion to adjourn.
So
A motion adjourned by Mr. Rock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Sachs. Mrs. Thomas, will you call the roll?